everybody, it's Linda with Sweet Aria Decor. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've seen you. I've been trying to clean up my craft space. Last year was a mess. So let's take a look at what's behind this curtain and what did I change. Oh boy. Well, alrighty. So I still have all of my ribbons organized here. I tried to do just a little bit of section for like ones coming up with holiday, but I'll show you where I put the rest of those. But I've tried to do it mostly by color or pattern. So we've got the blues, and then we've got the cheetah print. That's kind of Easter, a little bit of fall. That's kind of like my catch-all area. But on top here, I put all of my Valentine's and current holiday stuff along the top. And then going down here, I have my black and white. Then I move over to my reds and my greens. And then here is just where I have miscellaneous picks and things that are more seasonal. And then over here is kind of like the stuff it's general. Like here's my guy shelf. We got fishing, we got sports. Then we come down here to pretty pinks. We got some baby stuff and some donuts. Now along here, you'll see this is where I've put all of my 10-inch mesh. I tried to do it by holiday, but it didn't always work. But it's close enough. Not that bad. And then I ended up putting my picks in here. I left one of the shelves open on the top. And it kind of came through these grids. Now, people have asked me a lot of, what are these things that I've got everything stored on? These were wallpaper, I guess they were sales displays that I got at my local home improvement store called Menards. I've had these for about 10 years, and I almost threw them out. But I'm so glad that I did not, because once I created this large craft space, I definitely had a use for them. You can see all of the ornaments kind of stored up top. These are the large canisters that I get from the at-home store, then some smaller ones. I did end up taking some of these racks and pushing them flat against the wall before they were coming out at me, which it kind of created more of like a cave feeling, and it was dark, hard to get to. So I opened that all up, and then here's my tubing, and then my wreaths. I actually got grid wall hooks that attach it to the wall, so it's on there with 4 very heavy brackets. And then here's my shelf. This stores my 21-inch mesh. Now, I think I got this at Target, but this is just like your typical deep black bookshelf with the white wire. So that holds all of my mesh. I kept some of my Christmas picks just here in a box because I ran out of room. And then over here, this is a grid wall gondola that I kind of had set up. So it's basically 2 grid walls across, one flat in the back, one flat in the front. And it gives me a lot of space on either side. So it does jut out into the room, but I use every square inch of the space. So these are where I have my signs. And the end here, this is where I have all of my larger spools of ribbon. Most of the time I put the current holiday up at the top, and then more of the average everyday solids, you know, reds, blues, things like that down at the bottom. I keep my black and white here on the side because I use these a lot. So coming over here, these are some Christmas patterns I decided to keep out because I am going to try to be making some Christmas stuff all year round. And then over here is where I put my florals. I poked them right through the grid walls. It kind of does hit the signs a little bit behind it, but they're not moving. They're in there. They're doing pretty good. I also had some grid wall baskets, and I ended up using that to hold some of my more delicate greenery, I'd call it. Then over here in front of the window, this rack is where I hang all of my completed stuff. And below that, these are bins for more swags and wreaths that I couldn't fit over in the other spot. These are Christmas picks. And honestly, I'm going to leave these out year round because I'm going to be making it year round. Coming over to here. So some of this stuff is from IKEA. Now this, I can't remember if this is called a calyx. I'm not sure, but I got this Facebook Marketplace. People get rid of a lot of really nice IKEA furniture on Facebook Marketplace. So before I had this sideways, now I put it up and down. I've got all of my 60919 here, those florals there, and some regular greenery down at the bottom. This was, I think this was called a calyx. I'm not sure. But again, I got this off of Facebook Marketplace. This holds my blue mesh and then red and green. Most importantly, though, this holds my wreath stand that I got off of Etsy. And then here we go, my Deco Mesh stem cutter. I love it. And my pick machine. And then I've got this, I got from Michael's. This rotates, so I can easily get into what I want, but it mostly holds my different colored pipe cleaners. Now, this is peel and stick wallpaper behind all of this stuff. I did end up putting a nail in there because I wanted to have a wreath hanging behind me from now on. Okay, now coming up to the one thing that I did buy from IKEA. I actually paid full price for it, but it's worth it, and I'll explain why. So this is the, I don't know, it's called Valhalla, I don't know, something like that. But I like this because this is deeper than, the Billy bookshelves are only 12 inches. This comes out to almost 15. I think it's 14 and 7/8. But I like this because of the way the shelves are in there. Now, some of these shelves are fixed, like this one down below is fixed. But I like having all the stuff right behind me. I did get these clear cases right here. These came from Target. See if I can find one that still has a sticker on it maybe. And it was called the Target Bright Room. Now, some of these are just square like that. Some of these actually have a little cutout in the front, if you can see that, where it's able to, you can get into the access the stuff more easily. So that's where I put some of my moss, things like that, and the foam. Not everybody can afford to do it. I saved my profits from what I made last year because I really wanted to invest in this for myself this year. And it's taken me a long time to be able to get to this point, but I finally did it. So that was fun and exciting for me to try to put together. I was trying to get it put together before New Year's Day. So it was like 8 o'clock on New Year's Eve I finally finished. So nothing like putting a little pressure on myself, huh? This is my craft space right here. This is a table from IKEA. The reason I like this one is because, I don't know if you can see it, there's a crank and I can actually raise and lower this table. Not necessarily for when I'm working, but if I want to extend out, there's my dining room. If I want to push these tables together and have a nice long table for Christmas, I can use this for that. I didn't do it last year because I was just too lazy and that was just too much work. So did not do that, but I will show you over here. I've got all my Christmas lights for my tomato cage trees are on that bookshelf as well. That was a hand-me-down for my stepdaughter, so thank you for that. Going across the way, this is my ring light that I use, which I love. And then here is the Susie's Triple Stationary Mesh Roller. It holds the mesh, it holds the ribbon. I love this thing more than life itself. I also love their glue gun holder, so I don't burn the table. And then, of course, the Easy Bows Design Pro, my favorite wreath making tool. I could not make bows without it because lefty hand does not work so hot. So this really helps me. My goal is to learn how to make hand bows, but you know, I'll get there eventually. And then over here, this is where I put, these are, you know, collapsible plastic shelves, but things that I'm going to make planters or candlesticks or things for Christmas. So if I just want to do something real quick, I can come over here, grab something off of here and do it real fast. And if I need to collapse it down and get it out of this room, I can. But also, I may not always want everyone to see this mess here if they're in the dining room. So I got these collapsible screens off of Amazon and they work really nicely. They pop up really quick and it just kind of closes off the space so that it hides my gigantic mess. My space is not always going to look like this. It's usually a disaster area. Look at that. I have carpet underneath there. Who knew? There's actual carpet and it's not just a sea of cut ribbon tails and wire. Amazing. I'll finish off with, I needed light in my space. When I was filming, it was kind of dark, a little harder to see. I got these light fixtures. There were 2 of them. They were $34.99. They were from Amazon. And when they came, they looked like really lightweight. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are going to be junk. They're not going to work. You know what? They work beautifully. They hardly weigh anything. They're in there just with hook and eye. And I just have it, and it's got just hooks right up there. And then the cords come out on the side and just kind of go right down where I already have cords hanging. This is technically a living room, and I did not have any fixtures in the ceiling, nor was I going to pay for any. So we ended up doing this, and it works out really well. Everything, all the lights, everything is all coming down into here. This is where I've got my power strip, and boom, all I have to do is hit one button and all of the lights all over the place turn off all at once. Why? Because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to remember to turn everything off. And I almost forgot to show you this. This is a rolling cart. This is where I kind of keep all of the current holidays on. So this is very easily interchangeable. I've got Mardi Gras up there, some leftover Christmas down there that I'll use during the year, and then all St. Patrick's Day over here. And then back in the corner of my dining room, this is where I do the pictures. So this is a barn door that I got off of Facebook for like 55 bucks. It's just resting on a small collapsible table with a black tablecloth down there. And then these are the lights that I use. They're the Ecodo brand from Amazon. And I really like them. They fold down really nicely, but I pretty much just leave them up. If anybody wants to walk around them, they're welcome to, but they pretty much stay there this whole time. So that's my little space where I take all the pictures. I do it kind of over here because it is close to a window, trying to get as much natural light as I can. Because as you can see out there, we get a lot of snow. I ain't going out there. So I hope you like the space. If you've got any questions, message me and I can tell you where I got certain things from, or, advice or anything like that. So let me know. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of this space that literally, it took me like 6 days to do all this. Happy crafting, everybody, and I'm excited to see what you guys all make in 2024. Take care.